Welcome to D Spot for all of your Barça news. Yes, indeed, we are back once again. Of course, we are back. We had to come back. It is Friday afternoon. It is 5:45, and guess who is popping up live on another multi-stream? I had to do it. I had to do it. It has been a while, and I had to come back with a live after the big bomb dropped earlier this morning. Nico Williams has decided to stay with Athletic Club de Bilbao. Yes, indeed, the forward of the Basque team has decided to extend his contract and ignore a second chance to play with Football Club Barcelona. Thank you all for the comments. Thank you all for joining this live stream. And of course, as always, drop your comments in the comment section. I'm seeing that on the Instagrams, the stream has stalled. That is unfortunate. I am not going to take any time to try to fix that neither. It is too late in the afternoon. It is too hot as well to try any technical solutions at this point in time. Instead, we need to discuss that very urgent matter of the Nico Williams saga. It has come to an end. I would say that is probably the best part of all of this. We now know there is no Nico Williams at Barça. To the disappointment of many and to the relief of some, of which I include myself. Yes, I've got a smile on my face. Yes, I did receive this news with a big round of applause because we now know exactly how Nico Williams operates. We now know how him and his agent, how their clocks tick, what drives them, and their motives are one or some that do not wish to be involved with my club. So we can breathe a sigh of relief. As the title says, good riddance. It is no Nico at Football Club Barcelona, because the man is clearly motivated by factors that, well, go beyond that of winning trophies, playing with a fantastic team, with teammates that could elevate you to a higher standard. No, in the end, it's all about the pillar, isn't it? It's about the monies. And you can say, well, he decided to stay at his boyhood club, and sure, that's respectable and all, but if that was his motive all along, then he wouldn't, or he shouldn't have engaged and started the conversations with a Barça at the beginning of this summer. It was, what was it, 4 or 5 weeks ago when his agent was spotted here in the Ciudad Condal, in the Catalan capital. He was seen with Deco, dining and whining at a restaurant here. And he was the one that came crawling back, asking for the train to come around a second time. Trains normally don't come around second time for many players that reject the opportunity to join one of the biggest clubs in the world. And in that regard, we have to give credit to Joan Laporta, because he didn't want to engage this conversation for a second time around. In the end, he did. And the doors were open for Nico to join Barça because of the entourage, let's say the people surrounding Joan Laporta, convincing him that this time Nico's serious, this time Nico's willing to join, this time Nico's even willing to take a pay cut and make a sacrifice to join Football Club Barcelona. But in the end, though, he exposed himself for what he really is. And that is just a player that is more interested in receiving a paycheck at the end of the month. Because, let's be honest, with all respects, well, with some respects, I should say, to Athletic Club, what is he going to be playing for? Okay, he will play the Champions League alongside his brother. Last year, it was the Europa League alongside of his brother, playing it with his boyhood club, and that is respectable, but vas a ganar nada, pletes, tío. Es que no vas a ganar nada. What does Athletic Club win? Every 40 years, they might win a Copa del Rey. Beyond that, he's missing the opportunity of a lifetime. And that is his loss. That is his loss. That's his good right. It's he decided that, it was more important for him to opt for something that he was more familiar with. He preferred to stay in his comfort zone, clearly, and that is his good right. I say good riddance. I say good riddance. I prefer not to have a player like that showed his colors at the end of the day, that, again, made it very well known, mind you. Basque journalists, very much in the know, knew of his intention. He had informed the club. They say Athletic Club themselves were caught by surprise by the quick turn of events that supposedly happened yesterday. Supposedly, he told the club yesterday of his decision. And mind you, the club, I mean Athletic Club, not Barça, that he was willing to stay, to extend his contract another 10 years, a long contract. Whereas Barça found out this morning, like we all did, after the tweet was published through the account of the official account of the club itself. Let's see if I can pull it up, and we can kind of have a look at how it all developed. Because, it did look like it was a sure thing, didn't it? It did look like Nico Williams was going to land this time, was going to play this time at Barça. And I had to double check. When I came across this tweet as I had my morning coffee, what was the time? I mean, it must have been around 7:38-ish. I thought it was a joke, quite frankly. Keep dropping your comments in the comment section. What's up, Stan? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm going to get to your comment section, to your comments in a minute. But I thought that this was a joke account, a fake account. That Nico Williams had renewed his contract with the Athletic Club until 2035. I'm thinking, this is a joke. Who renews his contract for 10 more years? It had the blue check mark. It all checked out. And then, of course, this one hit. Him.
Se ve bien, se ve bien.
I think that's Iñaki next to him.
El de Muni. El de Muni.
Getting the number 10.
Se lo pedí también a él.
Muniain.
La verdad es que
handing off the legacy of the number 10 of the Athletic shirt to Nico Williams. And, the story continues. The story continues. The Athletic Club fans, of course, take this as a massive win, as they should. It is pretty much the only thing that they will win, in my opinion, come this and next season. And, of course, they're going to gloat. The haters are going to have their day. I'm happy for the haters, for all the Athletic Club fans that have been mocking and tormenting the Barça fans over the course of this day. They have their moment in the sun and enjoy it. Because, look, the way I see it, at the end of the day, it is a short win. The battle is won today, but the war, I'm convinced that Barça is going to continue to win that one. We are, at the end, the Liga champions, the Copa del Rey champions. We were seconds away from booking a spot in the Champions League final. So what is Nico Williams winning with this decision? And other than a lot more money, look, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a hell of a lot of work to do, because he broke the trust not just of, Barça fans and the Barça directivos, the board of directors of Football Club Barcelona. And that is whatever. I mean, that doesn't even matter. It doesn't affect me in the slightest, doesn't hurt me in the slightest. I'm taking it with humor, with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, our team has only improved so far. We've signed the best goalkeeper in the Spanish league with the best projection, and we've only gotten better and secured and improved our weakest spot, which was the goalkeeping position, with a fantastic signing. Nico Williams was always going to be a luxury at that, because we have a better player in that position, as is Rafinha, the potential Ballon d'Oro, right? Or who should be in contention, and at the very least, of the Ballon d'Oro. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I wasn't excited about the prospect of Nico Williams joining Barça on the left wing and maybe shifting Rafinha in more of a center position. all of that was very exciting to me. But it doesn't affect me in the slightest, the fact that he's not coming. Now, if you're Nico Williams, you've betrayed all of that. And obviously, the Barça train will never pass again. That is it. Your opportunity to join the best club in the world, the best team in the world, is done with. You will have to do with earning a lot more money. Fantastic. And, hopefully play in the Europa League, sometimes maybe Champions League, maybe get to the quarter semifinals, who knows, the final of a Copa del Rey. And that's it for you. That is it. For the next 10 years, that will be it until a Bayern comes along, or a Chelsea, or an Arsenal, or who knows, in the Premier League, or or maybe Madrid need another left winger. You never know. But that is it when it comes to Barça. If you're Athletic Club, though, what are you doing right now? You know that this player openly flirted with Barça. You know that this player told your board of directors that he's out, that this is it. This time it's for real. I'm gone. And that's not me saying that. That is prestigious, reputable journalists, references, dare I say, that admitted this, that was the message from the Nico camp towards those directors in Athletic Club. So much so that the fans had turned on him, right? Everybody knows, of course, about the graffiti. Let's pull that one up, because I gotta say that was a pretty nice move as well. The announcement of supposedly they recorded this last night, where Nico Williams, here it is. Let me pull this up real quick. Where Nico went to where him and his brother were spray paint on the wall. We all know, of course, what happened. They demolished it. They ruined it. They had taken it away. They had repainted it. And then they dropped this one, recorded last night, dropped this morning, with somebody else graffitiing a win. That's Athletic win. Supposedly that stands for Williams, Iñaki, Nico, or with Iñaki, Nico. I don't know. But this was it, right? This was the big unveiling, the big reveal of Nico announcing he himself that, yes, indeed, he's going to stick around for the party. When I have to make decisions, the most important factor in my case is what my heart tells me. I am where I want to be with my people. This is my home. Aupa Athletic. Well, I don't know about that, man. And I want to know from any Athletic Club supporter, what do you think? Obviously, you're ecstatic now. You're keeping your star player, but what do you make of this whole saga? What do you make of this open flirting that took place between the Nico camp, and Football Club Barcelona? Is this the kind of player that you want in your team? I mean, I know that these gray hairs don't lie. I've been around the block, and I was there when Figo decided to turn his back on Barça and sign for our fiercest rivals, that by far exceeds any other, backstabbing in football terms that I've ever witnessed in my life. Of course, goes beyond the name out to PSG. That wound is still fresh, if you will. But how do you feel about a person that was so open, so willing to leave, and seemingly, and again, this is all obviously nobody knows. This is from reports that I read, that you hear, but seemingly kind of impulsively flipped the switch and went 180 degrees and said, you know what, fuck it. I'm not ready to leave my comfort zone. I'm going to stay. But only improving conditions. And that comes with the territory, of course, when you renew a contract. But, is this, I'm kind of happy that we dodged the bullet here. I think we dodged the bullet. Seeing Stan saying this, Sol Campbell. Yeah, I mean, that was a big one, of course. Moving from Tottenham to Arsenal. And that's understandable, though, as well, isn't it? I mean, and I don't want to digress too much here, but what got me fired from my first job, one of my first jobs here in broadcasting or journalism, was at Barça Blaugranas when I actually wrote a piece. You could call it defense. I saw it more of a justification as to why Figo left Barça. And it had to do with money, certainly. But if you looked at it from Figo's perspective, he had been there for longer than Rivaldo. He arguably was as important, if not more important, than Rivaldo in that final season leading up to the Euros 2000, where he had a fantastic season. Eventually ended up winning the Balón de Oro, of course, for what he did with Portugal in the tournament, but also for the entire season with Barça. And Stan, yeah, you're saying Joan Garcia. Well, this goes in the same line. This goes in the same line as the Sol Campbells, the Luis Figos, and the Joan Garcias. In the end of the day, and I think for Luis Figo less so, but for Joan Garcia or Sol Campbell to make these kind of moves to their fiercest rivals, in their cases, city rivals, is justifiable. It's understandable because for sporting reasons, right? I mean, for professional reasons, they're getting better pay. I think Joan Garcia was on a 300,000 salary. He's now bumped up to 3 million. Again, I don't know this factually, but it's what I've read. Sol Campbell's case, I don't know, Stan, maybe you know better than me what he was earning, what he was going to earn at Arsenal. But then obviously it comes with all of the other elements that are in play in these kind of transfers, and that is, of course, the opportunity to play at the highest level, right? To play for the biggest trophies that you dreamt to play for when you were a kid, the Champions Leagues, the leagues, the cups, etc. And then, of course, the prestige and everything that comes with that territory, right? If you're playing in a bigger market when you're joining the elite teams, and in that regard, I mean, Luis Figo moving from Barça to Madrid, I think had less to do with prestige, but more with money in that regard. And he played his cards. He signed there was like a pre-agreement that was signed. He thought that he could pressure Joan Gaspar, eventually, that was then chosen president, to pay him more. They saw it as a betrayal. They said, we're not going to pay this penalty clause, and he had to bite the bullet. And it all worked out for him in the end, and we got somebody that we were able to hate on for eternity, and everybody lived happily ever after, I would say. But I certainly understood Figo's point of view as to say, look, I've been here at Barça for so long. He was a folks hero. He was the people's champion, more so than a Rivaldo. He had really become integrated with the culture. The local people saw him as one of theirs. He, of course, he had the famous celebrations in the Plaza San Jaume as well, calling out Real Madrid. He was a fantastic football player. He was amazing. I mean, again, my humble opinion, like so many others, peaked at Barça before moving on, but he felt underappreciated, and I think he had a reason to feel underappreciated. I do sympathize or empathize, either one, with him to a certain degree, but to go to that extreme was and is unforgivable. It's not the same with the Nico, but I think it rhymes. So I would like to know from Athletic Club fans, if there's any here on the stream, how do you guys how do you see this move from Nico? Do you are a little bit more skeptical now? I mean, there was a lot of hate thrown his way over the course of these past few weeks when the talks were still ongoing between Barça and Nico Williams' camp. Now, of course, he's staying. You guys will be happy. You won the battle, in my opinion, as I said previously, not the war. There's still a lot to fight for. And Barça, we're the team to beat, and we are the best team in Spain and one of the best in Europe, and we will undoubtedly continue to be, with or without a Nico Williams. And that's really it. I'm going to get to your comments. So I've been hearing the notifications coming in. Appreciate everybody, of course, dropping your comments in the comment section and joining me here on this impromptuous live stream, multi live stream, I should say. Coming to you guys on the Twitters, on the Gram, on the YouTubes, on the Kick, on the Twitch. Yes, I have got it all. All right. Thank you for reposting and thank you for joining again. Stan, you're saying that's football in 2025. Unfortunately, agents are the main characters. Saludos desde Valencia. Stan, yeah, you're right. Saludos right back at you, man. I need to get you on this podcast. But that is the name of the game. It's the agents. It's the agents game. It has been for some time and clearly will continue to be. Is it only the agents though? I don't know. I hear that he has gotten one of the biggest commissions out of this deal that he has ever had. Again, these are things that I quickly read. I cannot confirm whether that is true or not. So I'm not saying that personal motivation wasn't a factor in this. Nico's agent definitely made bank, and he will be having a very good weekend indeed. But I don't know if without Nico's consent he would have done all of this. I don't think it was purely driven by the agent's greed in this case. Surely Nico would have known all the repercussion, all the bad press that he would be getting from his boyhood club in the meantime, and all the abuse. I mean, his car was smashed to pieces. Like I said, the graffiti, the mural that was painted for him and his brother was destroyed. And anyway, yeah, so I don't know if it was just the agents. I have my doubt. Pain to all Barca fans. Yeah, look, man, I'm kind of laughing. I'm seeing a lot of anger with Barca fans, trying to make the fuck Nico hashtag trend, and I'm like that. Let's not do that. Let's not. I don't want to go there. I find that kind of reaction quite repulsive. He made this decision. He was never our player. It was never a guarantee. Yes, the flirting and the talks were exciting. The prospect of Nico, Lamine, Rafinha, Pedri, all those guys, Fermin, Gavi, etc., etc. It was a juicy one, and I was certainly looking forward to it. But it's like Johan Cruyff said. I mean, I feel like this quote of Johan, may he rest in peace, has been kind of overused and battered to death. But those that doubt to join Barça shouldn't join Barça. They are not Barça material. Those that doubt to play in this club, there's the door. You can walk out of it or never walk into that door if you are not 100% convinced. So, it is it's not even goodbye, Nico. It is good riddance, Nico. Stay where you are. We dodged the bullet. We see you. We see you. We know what motivates you now. It's not the titles. It's not potentially playing, the best football that the world has seen. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that right now, Barça is the club that is the hot ticket in town. Whether you're neutral, whether you're a Barça fan, even as a Madridista, Michel Salgado, for crying out loud, admits that it's the most entertaining team to watch right now. And we could have been better, I think, with Nico, but the fact that he's not here, it's his loss. It's his loss, and it's his own good right. Entonces, ¿qué? Deberían haberle ofrecido una suscripción gratis a Churros y Tácticas. Yes. Well, you know what? The subscription. So somebody's saying here that we should have offered him a free subscription to Churros y Tácticas. That is still on the table. Nico, you have my word. Tienes mi palabra de honor. Tienes una suscripción gratis esperándote. What's going on, Yatin? Abraham saying, Barca aside for a moment, inadvertently his agents has made a transferable in the future. Clubs would be very careful with dealing. Exactly. That's exactly my point. Clubs are going to be on the lookout. This is not a good look for Williams, man. This is not a good look for him. I 100% agree with you, Abraham, that this has hurt Nico, at least in the short term, more than it will have benefited him in the long term. I genuinely believe that and think that you're spot on with that takeaway. It's what I'm saying as well. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Everybody knew that you were talking with Barça. Everybody knew of your intention to supposedly join Barca. Whether that is true or not, it's irrelevant now. It's done. The deal is done. You stay put. Happy days. 10 more years. 10 more millions. But boy, oh boy, that is not a good look for you or your agent, son. Yatin saying that fans saying Nico's agent was cheap to add an exit clause if Barca fails to register Nico. Why won't a player look out for himself? So I think Dani Olmo, and I'm not 100% sure, Dani Olmo had the same clause put in. Didn't, of course, execute that clause when there were issues in his registration. Do I take issue with a clause like that being put in? I take more of an issue with Tebas continuously, openly saying that Barca are not on the one-to-one rule, when in fact, those more knowledgeable on this topic are saying that Barca have been on the one-to-one rule for some time. That this conception, this idea that Barca are still on a 1-4 is misconstrued. It is incorrect, inaccurate. And Tebas, Madridista Tebas, I don't know if he's been whispering in the ear of a Nico Williams saying, look, you know what? They might not be able to register you. I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I kid, of course. I love a good conspiracy. Who doesn't? But, and I'm not saying that is what happened, but maybe there was more words said behind the scenes that we're aware of that swayed him towards this decision that he has made. I honestly don't know. So sorry, I'm kind of going around in a loop here. Do I have an issue with agents putting in a clause like that? I guess not. I mean, agents are looking out for their players. Players are looking out for their best interests. They do not know what is going on behind the scenes, what is going on behind the offices. If they're continuously hearing in the news and from the president of La Liga himself, who, mind you, should have never disclosed any of this information. It is illegal that he has been doing so, that the club is unable to register the player. Well, of course, that's going to, project doubt. It's uncertainty. Nobody likes uncertainty. And so, I don't have so much of an issue with that, quite frankly. All right. What else? I lost track here. Why I want to play? Okay. Nico has retired from winning trophies. Catalan, you said it. Nico has decided winning trophies, that ain't really my thing. I'm not in it for that. I'm not in it for the trophies. Because, again, with all respects to Athletic Club, what have you guys won? What are you guys going to win? What are you actually playing for? I don't know. You guys answer that question. Diego's still looking like he's 21. Not because of the gray hairs and the gray beard. Maybe the Obey t-shirt, I'll give you that. Which, by the way, is incredibly hot. This is... I shouldn't be wearing this right now. I am schwitzing like a pig over here. Jeesh. So, who really is losing out here? Barça or Nico? Answer that question. Well, I think I did. Nico clearly losing out here. Goraf saying, what up, man? X-Ray 8492 saying, let us move past this and not be mad and hold a grudge with Nico, and let us bring a player from the academy, make him into a superstar. X-Ray, I'll go one step further. Let's use this as motivation. We all remember Lamine Yamal posting the photo of him and Nico Williams like high-fiving each other, jumping in the air, and hugging each other at the start of this saga, which kind of made us think like, oh shit, like this is really gonna go down, this is gonna happen. And that, of course, got everybody excited. But let's use this now to stimulate, to motivate this team, to say, you know what? One thing is being friends off the pitch, but when we play each other, all gloves are off, all bets are off. It is mano a mano combat and may the best player and teams win. I sincerely hope that they will use this as fuel to motivate and drive their passion to continue to outscore, beat, outplay any team that they will come up against, especially an Athletic Club, who, mind you, are taking the mick like nobody else has in quite a while. I mean, that the what do you call it? The Twitter account, the social media manager. What's the word I'm looking for? The community manager. I mean, posting shit like this. That's just ammunition. I hope that's ammunition for the Barca boys to say, what in the fuck is going on over here? You done fucked up. You done fucked up. And that's what I hope. That's what I hope is going through their heads. So let's see. Let's see. Time will tell. But I cannot wait for the next battle, for the next game between us two. In fact, hey, having said that, yesterday La Liga released the schedule, of course. So maybe we can already mark the next Barça Athletic Club Barça on our calendars, because let's have a look here. Why don't you guys look on with me? Hold on a minute. Let me get this over here. Vamos a ver. Empezamos con un Athletic Club Sevilla. ¿Dónde está eso? ¿Dónde lo puedo? A ver. Barcelona. Let's go. Let's skip through this. This is not working at all. All right. I thought I was being quick with it. Valencia. Do let me know if I'm passing it over. Barça Oviedo. Barça Real Sociedad. Congrats to Oviedo, of course, for rejoining the Spanish top flight. But Barça Girona. Real Madrid Barça, the 25th of October. Barça Elche. Celta de Vigo Barça. Here we go. The 25th of November. Mark it red on your calendars, folks. This one right here. And we'll be back in the Spotify come no. Woo-wee! Hey, look. Whether it's 105,000 people or whether it's 60,000 people, no sé cuál va a ser la foto. I don't know what the attendance will be. Esperemos una foto de un 100%. Let's hope, the whole gang can come out. We can all go and watch that game. But, man, that has got to be a pressure cooker. And let Nico know. That'll be the day where we can really voice our displeasure of all of this, how this saga has concluded. So, yeah, mark that one red, 25th of November. All right, moving on. Goda saying Nico goes negative. Joan Garcia mentioned by Stan. And again, in Joan Garcia's case, I understand why the Espanyol fans will be disgruntled in their good old right. But don't tell me that any of those fans in the companies that they work in or work for, if another company would come and offer them double, they would say, thank you and goodbye. I'm going to go and join this team over here, or this company over here. So that's what Joan Garcia did. He tried to be respectful, bid farewell, bid them good luck, and now he's with a better team and a better club. Malik Fofana is a brilliant winger from Lyon. Okay. All right. Fofana. I do not know much about Fofana. I had my eyes kind of peeled on this Yields talk. The young left winger from Juve. I think, and again, I read this in passing, that his buyout clause is 50 million. So accessible, doable for Barça. 50 millis for the youngster. Again, somebody who I haven't followed on a week-to-week basis, but certainly in the highlights has looked the part. So yeah, let me know. Who should we go for? Is it a Luis Diaz now? Is it Marcus Rashford, who apparently is dying to join the ranks? We will see. We will wait and see. I have no doubt that somebody will be happy to join the Barca ranks. Los Doyers saying, laugh my ass, sounding like all the angry Barça kids are on this app. I don't know what you're talking about, my friend. I am not angry at all. I am relieved. Very relieved, my friend. Very relieved. Nico has shown his colors. Nico is not what you need anyway, Stan is saying. Sign some defenders, especially fullbacks. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely, after securing the goalkeeper position, fullbacks, Alejandro Balde needs some support. Kunde on the other side definitely needs some support. I think, who would you suggest, man? Who would you suggest? I would love to know. Is a good, solid suggestion of yours, Stan, somebody that's in the know. Who do you think would be able to fit Barca's and Flick's system the best? Priyanishi saying Nico got scared. Nico would not have been a starter. Eventually, he'll go to a Premier club for gazillions. I don't know if I think I'm pretty sure he would have been a starter. I'm pretty sure the idea of Flick would have been to, kind of shift Rafa into a more central position and make it work. That's what I think. Does La Masia have promising 17-year-olds somewhere to substitute Rafinha and start developing? Well, there's a lot of the Barça Athletic players have left, but the under 19 players, that's really where the talent is at, in my opinion. You look at Jan Bergili, there are definitely some very, very interesting players there. The Fernandez cousins, Tony Fernandez, not necessarily natural wingers, but players that could definitely get minutes with the Barça first team and slowly but surely be developed into first team players. I think, those, I say under 19 players, a lot of them will be moved up and promoted to Barça Athletic, the B team, come next season, so this upcoming season, because like I said, I mean, so many players of Barça Athletic have left this season, and Giuliano Belletti has taken over from the B team side. He's the coach now, and after winning pretty much all except for one trophy last season with the Juvenil, with the under 19 team, it is only natural for Belletti to bring up a lot of the players that he coached last season, at the higher level. And I think in that regard, it's also good for the B team to have maybe been relegated. They are no longer in the ¿cómo es segunda división? No, la primera federación. I don't remember where they were relegated to be honest. But the B team were relegated last season, and maybe that is a good starting point for these youngsters from the Juvenil, from the under 19 teams to start, and to also break into the first team by slowly but surely joining them in practices and getting some minutes under Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick, who has been scouting them and looking at them over the course of last season a lot, mind you, a lot. He was very often there at the games. So I think he's got a good idea of who could potentially be a good backup for Rafinha on the left wing. Oh my God, what is this? Best view on Streambo. My first ever Twitch comment. I think this is a bot. It looks like best viewers on streambo.net. Remove the space. Yeah, that is definitely a bot. Hey, I'll take it. My first ever Twitch comment. Diego, you sound like you got dumped and your heart is broken. You got to move on. What do you say? The complete opposite, my man. I am not sweating this one whatsoever. In fact, I all I could do was laugh this morning. It was the typical kind of scenario. It made me think of that South Park episode, and it's gone, where he look, this was my initial, by the way, shout out to Moji Montes. Check out the new Churros logo, folks. Primicia exclusiva. Look at that. Shout out to Daniel and his missus. Moji Montes, Moji Mates, moji-mates.com. We are official. We are official. We have been turned into emojis, and I absolutely love it. This is fantastic. We're owning it. The bald look, the gray, the salt and pepper. it's fantastic. You got the Messi, you got the CR7, Churros y Tácticas Live. We will be coming back soon, of course, once Kian finishes his groupie tour of his beloved Real Madrid through the US of A. We will be back with Churros. And in the meantime, though, I've got so much cooking up. I got so much coming on the spot. I've been really putting in the work, putting in the effort, putting in the time to probably properly script, storyboard, storytell. There's a lot of good stuff coming your way. You already can have a sneak peek for those that are not yet subscribed to my YouTube. Head on over to youtube.com/dspot where you can get a sneak peek of what is to come on my channel in the future, in the very near future. My next video is dropping hopefully still before the end of this week. It is a lot of hard work. I'm doing it in collaboration with Hisham. I will talk more about him and our project on another stream, but I'm very excited, man. Very excited. There's great things, big things coming for D-Spawn, and it's going to be Barça content coming your way like you've never seen it before. You've never seen it before. So, like I said, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss the videos because you're not going to want to miss it. That is my word. That is my promise and my word. Low IQ, low life without ambition, very typical, is Theophilus saying. Isco saying, oh, really? Do Barca need a left winger? Do you think Rafinha needs a backup given the long season? I think so. I mean, I do think so. I also am partial of bringing up the youth team players to give them an opportunity because I think there's a lot of talent there. I mean, they won the league. They won the treble. They won the league. They won the Copa del Rey and the youth league, something that hadn't ever been done before. Barça now, the under-19 squad, the team with the most amount of youth league wins. And, when you look at how they play, when you see the way Belletti has these boys playing, it's you got to give credit to him, but there's a lot of hidden talent there as well that I think deserve a crack at least at the first team. So I think Rafinha needs the help. Rafinha, who is approaching the 30s, so but I also think that we could maybe save that money. We don't necessarily need to spend it on a top signing like a Luis Diaz, who would cost a fortune, quite frankly, and who's very talented. But, that's why Nico Williams was sort of, in my opinion, again, a better fit because of his youth, only 22 years old, because he's not as talented at the moment as a Luis Diaz, so you had more wiggle room. The good viewer earlier said that he wasn't a starter anyway. I think he would have started most of the matches, but maybe you could have a 60-40, 70-30 type thing where, he's on the bench in some games, allowing Rafinha to be in that position while we have a look and see if Rafinha is moldable like I think he is, amendable, adaptable in another position behind the striker. But but now we will wait and see. Fernando Polo confirms he was talking with Bilbao all week. Exactly, Shane. This is 100% true. I mean, like I said, more reputable. But I'm not saying that Fernando Polo isn't reputable, but those in the know within the Bilbao camp were saying the exact same thing, and they wouldn't say so if that wasn't the case. What do you think about Xavi early Madrid look? I have no idea. Ask Kian, and I think Kian is very excited. I haven't seen one Club World Cup game. I am not making that my business. You'll have to sign up to managing Madrid for that one. I see things in passing. I don't think right now, from my ignorant eye, that a massive change, a massive shift has happened in Real Madrid. I could be wrong. I saw Kian again parading that Bellingham is the best midfielder in the world. The guy just can't let go. You talk about a girlfriend or a broken heart that just can't let go of a breakup. The fact that Pedri has won this battle between him and Bellingham is still hurting Kian to the very core of him, who's back on the bandwagon of and the propaganda machine of calling Bellingham the best midfielder in the world. I'm sorry, but that's Pedri all day. Yildiz was good against Real Madrid at the Club World Cup. Well, there you go. Yeah, I've seen good things. Again, and mind you, these are highlights, but I've seen good things of the youngster. And if his buyout clause is a mere 50 mil, then man, we gotta do that. We gotta jump on that. Rashford, cheap option with good quality to play on the left. Yeah, so and again, I'm referring here to reports, what I've read in the sports, in the Mundo Deportivos, etc. Apparently, Hansi Flick is very keen on a Rashford. So if that is the case, then we would have to believe that is a feasible option at the very least. It seems that Rashford is desperate to come, not just keen, but I mean, he'll do anything. And look, I don't know what to think of a Marcus Rashford. I think that it would be a safe option because he's not somebody that is going to demand the spotlight, that demand minutes, demand a spot in the starting lineup. If United would be so kind and pay the vast majority of his wages as well, then he could come on a year loan, a season loan, then I think it would be a very safe option and an interesting one because of the talent that he showed he had. Although, the season with Villa and everything, Villa had a good season, but I don't know where to rank a Marcus Rashford in terms of his quality at the moment and what he could give this Barça. I think, it's an interesting safe option, potentially. So, Shane saying, we just got fined 50 mil by UEFA. What a week for Barça. We got fined 50 millis? Shane, I didn't read that. I need to double check that one. What is the fine for? I need to double check that. Yeah, so the layout is, I don't know what's going to happen with that. That is one that has been in the papers, of course, since last season as well. In the winter market, it kind of sparked up again. I don't know. I don't know if a layout is. I think it would be very costly. I think Milan would want to make bank, and I see a Premier League team snatching Chelsea. Probably Chelsea would get in just throw millions at it and snatch them up in the meantime. Kia, baby, Kia's in the house. I joined. Kian, what's good, my friend? They were asking about what do I think of Real Madrid so far, and I said you got to ask Kian. I haven't seen the Club World Cup, so no lo sé. How is Madrid looking, my friend? Xabi Alonso, has he turned the ship around? Is this Real Madrid to be reckoned with? We're going to discuss this on the next Churros. And in the meantime, Kian Sobani is your man. So there you go. Yeah, happy 4th to all of the Americans on the stream. And I think I'm going to call it quits, man. I've been streaming nearly 50 minutes. Jesus. And I'm cooking up a sweat. I'm burning up over here. So slowly but surely, I'm going to bid farewell. I'm very happy Kian has been on this podcast, on this live stream, like a fly on the wall, quiet, and then, he made himself known. So we will be back with Churros. Kian, by the way, hey, give some love. Give some love to the new Churros logo, my friend. I want to see you repost this. This is a thing of beauty right here. And I can't wait to have my Moji-Mates t-shirt with the new Churros logo on it as well. Go on to moji-mates.com, and if you use the promo code DSPOT, you get a cheeky 20% off, mate. That is right. Pranav, of course. A stream wouldn't be complete without a Pranav comment. Remembering the times Barça fans celebrated when Mbappe extended for 2 years. Yes. You all know what it is. You chased that man for 7 years, and he finally joined your ranks. Well, I don't see the same thing happening with a Nico Williams. Claude saying, I think you're missing one D or three. No, I'm just kidding. It is, of course, D Spot. D Spot is the spot for all of your Barça news. Let me know, folks. Let me know. What do you guys make of this plot twist? Did Barça dodge a bullet? Or is it our loss? I would love to know your thoughts, more of your reactions. I'm going to read all of them in the comments section. In the meantime, give this video a big old like. Give youtube.com/dspot a big old subscribe. Hit the bell notifications because before the end of this week, I'm dropping a big one. It's the first of a series of many episodes to follow. You will not want to miss it. Madridistas especially, but also, of course, Barça fans. It has been one that has been in the making that I've been promising to the Churros patrons for a long time. I've finally gotten around to properly plot it out, produce it, script it, and episode 1 is dropping before the end of this week. So a lot of work in the making, but we're getting there slowly but surely. One thing's for certain, you don't want to miss it. So make sure that you subscribe to D-Spot, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of that good old content. Thank you, Prana, for the new lighting in the back. You know what? It's not even new. I just had to adjust it. But yeah, I'm trying to do it, man. I'm trying to do it. Trying to get this rocket launched and get this project off the ground. It's up and running, but, you know, tweaking and adjusting it as we go along is, of course, part of the course. And I'm happy with where we're going. It's slow, sometimes a little too slow for comfort, maybe, but patience is part of the game. And as long as we're moving forward and heading in the right direction, the objective, the goal is clear, and that's where we're heading towards. So thank you all for being on this journey with me. Thank you all for your comments and joining me here on this improvised live stream. Thank you for your comments and your insults and your compliments. And we'll see you on the next one, okay? Peace out, y'all. Have a great weekend. Much love. Visca el Barça. Ciao.